So Jaden, so did you notice that? So you just immediately tell me, right? Because the ask is what is a group of numbers shown in the A? So they're asking you the category, not the number itself, correct? Very good. So this one, A is what?
Integer.
Very good, integer. And how about B?
Whole number.
Very good. Okay, so number B question, give an example of a number that belongs to B but not belong to A. Is that possible?
就是 integer 是 whole number。
他说这个数字必须是 the example of a number that belongs to in B but not group A. Is it possible?
No.
No. Why? Because B is inside A, right? So a number which is appear in group B must be in the group of A. So that's why there's no such number existing. Very good. Good job, Jaden. You're not being disturbed at all, and great job. Okay. All right. We're going to learn the money. Okay. So Jaden, do you love money? Not really.
A little bit.
A little bit, because with money we can buy a lot of things we want, right? Okay. So my question is, what if, like, Chinese New Year just passed, right? I think your grandpa, your grandma, your parents must give you some red pocket, don't they? Yeah. So how much money you get?
I forgot.
啊，你不想告诉我是不是？It's okay. I'm not going to ask something from you, okay? So Jaden, my question is, let's just suppose you get $1,000, is it okay?
Okay.
For the Chinese New Year. So I'm saying that if you put the $1,000 into your pocket, and after 1 year, it will be decreasing or increasing.
Decreasing?
Why? 你放在口袋里就会多大？你放在口袋里面，这个钱会像生小宝宝一样，有那个小狗和小鸡一样，就越来越多啦，会不会的
No.
No, never, okay? So if you have $1,000, you put them into your pocket 1 year later, it will be still $1,000. Okay, Jaden? But instead, if you put the bank will give you what, Jaden?
A little bit more.
Interest. Okay, so the bank will give you interest. So let's suppose to say that the bank will give you 10% interest yearly. So that means every year they give you 10%. So Jaden, let me ask you, you have 1,000 right now. So 1 year later, how much money you have?
1,100.
1,100. Very good. Okay, so let me see. 2 years later.
1,210.
No, so you're using compound interest rate. We're thinking about simple interest rate first, okay? So that means you're not putting your interest back to your principal. So the end of the 2 years, you're getting 1,200. End of 3 year, you get 1,300. Okay, so this is a simple interest. We're going to move to the compound interest very soon. Okay, don't worry about it. So let's just take a look at this one. So Jaden, before we move forward to and understand interest, very good, you still remember the compound interest. We need to study what is gross income, what is net income, what is deduction, what is incoming, and what is overtimings right now, okay? So like your dad is having a company, so your dad every month is paying their workers, right? And your dad, for instance, one of your dad's worker is paying 20,000 per month. So Jaden, let me ask you, did he get $2,000? Sorry, not 20. So $2,000 a month. So every month, did she get 2,000 exactly, or more than 2,000 or less than 2,000?
Mm, mm, I don't know.
So it's going to be less, okay? Because the $2,000 is a gross income, okay? So let's take a look at this one. So what is gross income? Can you read it for me?
A person's salary before any deductions such as federal and provincial income taxes are subtracted.
Very good. So we know that actually for every people living in Canada or United States or in China, they have to pay tax, okay, income taxes. So in Canada, you have to pay two parts. One part is to the federal government and the other part is paid to the provincial government. Okay, so that means every 2,000 your paycheck, maybe you only get 1,600. So this $400 you paid it for the government. Understand?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So deduction are amounts that are subtracted from a paycheck. So they including federal income tax, provincial income tax, Canada pension plan premium, and employment insurance and union dues. So what is Canada pension plan premium? So everybody, you're going to getting old. You cannot be stay strong and healthy forever, right? So when you are over 50, 60, 70, you don't want to work anymore. You cannot work for anymore. So who is giving you the money to support yourself having a regular life? So the government is going to give you some money. Where this money comes from? Pension plan. Okay, so this is based on every month you are paying for your own money when you're 60 years old or 70 years old and you want to get some money from the public and you're having that one. And employment insurance, what is that? Is something like, let me tell you. So if you're working every day, it's fine. But if you get fired, and then you don't have any income. So how you support yourself with a regular life? So the government of Canada is going to pay you with the percentage of your before salary, so which is called employment insurance. Understood?
Mhm.
Okay, so union dues. So some people like the teachers or the truck drivers, they have unions. So unions is taking care of yourself. Like if you have a lawsuit and the union will going to fight for you. And if you are treated not fairly, and union will come back and help you. So of course, because the union is not work for free, so the people who belongs to union has to pay the union fee. Understood?
Mhm.
Okay, so the gross income minus the deduction equals the net income. Okay, so income is the money that an individual received in exchange for the providing good or services. So the income, it doesn't necessarily to be the money. Sometimes it could be, yeah, it must be money in our case, but sometimes it could be repaid by some other services. For instance, Jaden, I give you an apple and you just do two questions for me. So this is also income, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at overtime. So can you read overtime for me?
Overtime is time spent working at a job that is oh, in addition to normal working hours.
Yes. Okay, very good. So that is so that is something like, for instance, in Canada, every week people are only allowed to work 37.5 hours or 40 hours. So that means you can only work for 5 days. Okay, Jaden? So after 5 days, if your lao ban, if your boss said, okay, Jaden, I really need you to work extra time. So you can do what? Asking for overtime income. Okay, Jaden. So what is overtime income? So for instance, 4 hours. Every hour your payment is $20. Okay, so if you have 4 hours overtime. So each hour you're getting $30 per hour, but instead of 20. Understand? So the boss need to pay you 1.5 times.
Okay.
So which makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Consider a regular pay hour is $20 per hour and a 5 hours of overtime at an hour rate of time and a half. So we know that $20 times 1.5 equals 30, and 30 times 5 equals 150. So altogether is 150. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So a worker with an annual salary of 42,600 is paid every week. Her week, sorry, her work week is 40 hours. So that means each week she can work 40 hours, right? And after that, that will be what? Overtime, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. What is the gross pay every week? So we know this 42,600 is yearly, so we need to use this number 42600 divided by 52. Correct? So it's 52 hours. Sorry, 52 weeks. So the yearly divided by 52 equals each week this person will get how much paid. Correct?
Mhm.
So what is hourly pay? So we're just using the number which is divided by 40 because each week she is entitled of working 40 hours. So you get $20.48. That is the hourly pay rate. So what is the overtime? Overtime is 20.48 times 1.5, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so what does she make working 8 hours overtime during 1 week? So we're just using this number times 8. Correct?
Mhm.
So let's take a look at number example 3. Okay, so Jaden, I want you to do this yourself. Okay, I'm going to block the way. So Anna received a yearly salary of 48600. That means every year she earned that much money, right? Correct, Kevin? Sorry, Jaden. 把名字换掉. Okay, so every 2 week. So Jaden, let me ask you. So 1 year equals how many weeks? 42 weeks, right? So she got a payment every 2 weeks. So 48,600 divided by what? We can just divide it by 52 and times 2, or we can just do directly 48600 divided by 26. Don't you agree with me?
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is every 2 week, right? So we can just do 48600 divided by 52. That equals every week Anna received that much money. And each week, how many hours does she work?
Mhm.
37.5, right? So we can divide it by 37.5. So we get what? We get hourly thing. So Jaden, you're allowed to use a calculator.
Mhm.
So can you can use a calculator to do that, okay? So 48,600 divided by 50. So what is hourly rate? So just this one is hourly rate. What is Anna's gross pay for the 2 week period? So it's 48600 divided by 52, then times 2. Correct, Jada?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. We don't calculate it anymore. So let's take a look at this one, okay? So Ryan received a monthly salary of 2,480. That means every month he received 2,480 with paydays coming twice per month. So what does it mean? That means because every month usually they have two weeks. So that's why they're like twice paid twice a month, okay?
Mhm.
So Ryan's work week is 35 hours with time and a half of overtime. 如果他超过35小时的工作，每个小时就 pay 1.5倍，okay? During the first half of the September, Ryan worked 7.5 hours of overtime. So we need to know that, first of all, the first half of the September, he should get 2,480, right? But right now, because he has what? Overtime. So we need to plus the overtime. So how do we know? So it must be because we know that he worked 7.5 overtime. So we need to using overtime rate times 7.5. Correct?
Mhm.
So first of all, in order to know the overtime rate, we need to know the regular rate. So regular rate is what? 2,480 divided by 35 and 2. Why? Because 2,480 is what? Oh, so no, need to read 4 times. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Because that is the monthly, okay? So in order to calculate the yearly first, so usually it is different than this is Jaden. We have to know that every month, if we say every month is 4 weeks. So how many months we have?
Uh,
We have 12 months, right?
uh-huh.
4 times 12 is only 48 weeks. But actually, for a whole year, there are 52 weeks. So where this extra 4 weeks comes from? If you take a look at this one, we have January. January has 1 to 31. So if it is exactly 4 days, it should be 1 to 28. Right? For January, there are 3 days more already. Correct? And for the March, there's another 3 days off. And for the April, there are 2 days out. So all these extra days plus together equals 4 weeks. So in order to calculate the hourly rate, we need to use the monthly rate times 12, then divided by 52, then divided by 35. So this is yearly rate. Yearly rate divided by 52, we have the weekly rate. And weekly rate divided by 35, we get the hourly rate. Get it, Jaden?
Mhm.
Okay, so we know that the answer is 16.35. So what is OT rate? Overtime rate equals 16.35 times 1.5. So the answer is 16.35 times 1.5 OT rate times 7.5, which is the the overtime money, right? Then plus 1,240. Why? Because the first half of the September is exactly half of the 1,480.
Mhm.
Get it? So
Yeah.
that's the total thing. Okay, so I'm going to hit the pause and let you move forward and take a look at the next one. Okay, so let's talk about commission. Okay, so there are some people then working for the commission. You're paid on a certain percent of total sales that you make. There are 3 main types of commission, okay? So first one, straight commission. So a percentage of total sales made for a certain period of time. Okay, so for instance, that you're working for the company for 10 hours and you're making 10% of the sales based on that 10 hours. So that is straight commission. So we also have the graduated commission. This percentage of sales earned increased as the sales value increased for the certain period of time. So for instance, Jaden, you're working for the 10 hours, okay? And for the first 5 hours, you get 10%. And for the next 5 hours, you get 15%. So obviously, you understand that the boss wants you to work more, right? So that's why they give increasing the percentage. And the salary plus commission is a minimum salary plus a commission after the minimum level of sales are reached. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. April's commission rate in a furniture store is 8%. She received a commission of 415 from the sales of a bedroom suite. How much did the bedroom suite cost? So we know she received $415, right? And she's worked from the commission rate is 8%, so it's X times 8%, right? Equals the suite cost. So X equals what? 415 divided by 0.08. So the answer is $5,187.50, right? So let's take a look at the next one. Tim works as a salesperson for the motorcycle dealership. He received a commission of 5.5% on the monthly sales up to 12,000, 7% on the next 10,000, and 8.5% on additional sales during the month. If Tim's December sales were 32,000, what is his commission for the month? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So he received a commission of 5.5% on the month sales up to 12,000. So that means if he is making $8,000 sales, he will get 8,000.155, right? But for this one is 7%, the commission increased to 7% for the next 10,000. So the more you sell, you get more, right? And 8% for the additional sales during the month. So if you're selling more than 22,000, the rest of the money you're earning 8.5%, which is pretty high. So let's see, Tim's December sales is 32,000, right? So the first to 12,000, he make what? He make 5.5, right? And for the next to 10,000, he make 7%. And how much less? So 32 grand minus 22 grand equals another 10 grand. So this 10 grand is the last 10 grand is equals to 8.5%. Understood, Jaden? Okay, so that's why altogether he make $2,210, okay? So let's take a look at this one. So this one's different. Lily is working for the base salary plus commission, okay? So Lily works in a women's clothing store. She received a weekly base salary is $420, plus a commission of 7.5% on all weekly sales over 5,500. So Jaden, this is very important, okay? That means before 5,500, she gets nothing, only $420, okay? Only when she sells more than 1,500, 5,500, she will get what? 7.5%, right? So first of all, we need to know which part is commissioned. Is 7,250, that is the sales you make for the week, minus 5,500 equals 1,750. So that is a part is commissioned. So times 0.075. So called it 131.25. So that is your commission plus your base salary. So the answer is 551.25. This is weekly sales. Sorry, weekly salary. Understand, Jaden? Okay, so let's take a look. Last one is wages. So wages is not going to be affected by how much money you sell or how much time. It's only get affected by how much time you work. The pay equals the hourly rate times hour, and the gross pay equals regular pay plus overtime pay. Correct? Okay, so let's take a look at number 9. I think you could figure out how to do it yourself. Okay, I'm going to just hit the pause for a second and just to let you try to do yourself. Okay, very easy. So Jaden, let's take a look at this one. So June works as a carpenter for a large construction company. Her regular work week is 40 hours. So that means a week she has to work 40 hours, right? With the hourly pay of $20.65 and the time and a half of overtime. If June works 44.5 hours last week, what is her gross pay? So first of all, Jaden, in this 44.5 hours, 40 hours are regular pay and 4.5 are overtime pay, correct? The regular hour is easy, so 40 times 20.65. So 4.5 is what? 4.5 times 20.65 times 1.5. So basically, so it's 826 plus 139.39 equals 965.39. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take a look at example number 10. Felix is paid 24 per hour for the 40 hours work week and time and a half of overtime. If Felix's gross pay is 1,176, how many hours of overtime she worked? Okay, so as usual, I'm going to block the solution and you're going to do it. Okay, Jaden? 看一下黑板. So we know that this week Felix get 1,167, right? And if there's no overtime, she should have 24 times 40, which is 960 together, right? So you should know that between 1176 and 960 is $216, correct? So where we get this money from? The money is coming from the overtime, right? So 216 equals overtime time times overtime rate. So do we know the overtime time? No. So it's a question mark or X. What is overtime rate? Before we're doing $24 per hour. When it's overtime, we times 1.5, so it's $36. So 216 divided by 36 equals 6 hours exactly. Get it, Jada?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, okay? So Beatrice works for a local bakery, okay? So your turn to do this one. Look at this one. So Beatrice worked for the local bakery. Her regular worked hours is 35 per week. And if Beatrice's gross pay is 35 hours, 35 hours and 5 hours of overpay, okay? So regular rate times 35 plus OT times 5 equals what? 1041.25, right? Assumes that we don't know, there are two variables, but the OT rate and regular rate is actually having a relationship. OT rate equals 1.5 times the regular rate, right? So
Mm-hmm.
35 regular plus 5 times 1.5, 7.5 regular equals 1041.25. So equals 42.5 rate of regular equals 1041.25. So the regular rate is just this one divided by 42.5. Understand, Jaden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a calculation. So there's also another way of getting paid is piecework. So one of the 13 product stages in the producing part is installing the zippers. OK，就是把拉链放在这个衣服上。An experienced seamstress needs 20 minutes on average to sew a zipper to a parka and is paid $6.20 per zipper. What is her weekly pay if she has 25 hours work hour? So first of all, we need to know that the number of a minute are there is 2,100 minutes in 35 hours, right? So we know in 2,100 minutes, there are altogether 105 zippers could be sewn on. Why? Because each 20 minutes they sew one zipper. So 2,100 divided by 20 equals 105 zippers, okay? So each of the zippers, she get paid 6.2. So it's 105 times 6.2 equals 650. Correct, Jaden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to move forward and let's take a look at the exercise, okay? So we're not going to do all of them, so I want you to try to do number 1 and number 3 yourself, okay? Okay, you tell me how to do the first one. Jaden, yeah, you mute yourself.
Um, 36,288 divided by 37.5.
First of all, Jaden, this is
Divided by
yearly. 52, very good. And divided by 37.5, very good. Okay, so this one you get it what? It's getting hourly if you do that, right? But look at this one. So what is the question asking you? So what does he receive each paycheck? So you get the pay hourly, very good. This is the hourly pay. So what is a paycheck? You need to take a look at this one. They paid weekly. So that means every week they got a paycheck. So it is 36,288 divided by 52. So that is the weekly payment, which is the paycheck. Understand? So the first question is 36,288 divided by 52, and the second question's answer is the answer divided by 37.5. Very good. Number 3, can you tell me the answer?
59.
So can you give me the equation, Jaden?
So I think
So 1,586 is semi-monthly. So this is almost like 2 weeks, right? Okay, so 1,586. So this is 2 week. This is 40 hour per week. So we need to find out the hourly payment first, right?
Divided by 80.
Divided by 80. And what is OT? Times 1.5. Very good, very good. Good job. Okay, so let's take a look at 5 and 7. Jaden, your turn, okay? We take a look. Fala is paid $23.60 per hour with time and a half for overtime. So regular hour rate is 23.60 per hour. And overtime, very easy, is 23.60 times 1.5, correct? So if Fala received a paycheck twice a month for the 37.5 hours work week, so that means every 2 months he gets. So it's 37.5. You need to times what? 52, right? So that means each week you get that much, right? And for the whole year, you have to work that much hour. So times 23.6, that is the whole year you get that one, right? But the question is, she paid twice a month. So it's divided by 12 and divided by 2. Get it? Okay, so because that's a yearly, and divided by 12 will be monthly, and divided by 2 will be half month. Understand?
Yeah.
So half month, Jaden, is not equals to 2 weeks. Do you understand? It's different because 2 weeks is 14 days, but half month maybe sometimes it's 15 days, and maybe some if it's 14 days. So it's different. So when the question is asking you twice a month, that means you get paid every 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, it's half of the month. So that's why you need to get the yearly divided by 12 divided by 2. You get the 2 month, right? So that is how much you pay. So, and works 4 hours overtime during the half month pay period. So you need to plus what? 23.60 times 1.5 times 4. So that is the total amount you're going to get. Get it, Jada? Ooh. Okay, so let's take a look at number 7. White receives $1,217.75 in commission for selling 3,350 in merchandise. What is the commission rate? So this one's very easy because we know that the commission equals the sales times commission rate, right? So we know this time he got 217.75 equals 3350 times rate. So rate equals what? 217.75 over 3350. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take a look at number 9. What is a salesperson's monthly commission on the sales of 18,320 if commission is paid 7.75 on the first 10,000, 9.25% on the next 6,000, and 10.5 on any additional sales? So altogether, this guy make 18320, 对不对? So first 10,000, the commission rate is 7.75%. And the next 6,000 is 9.25%. So how much left there? 2320 and times 10.5%. And plus them all together equals the total sales. Get it, Jaden?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for today's class, and I'm going to give you the homework. So the homework will be just to finish the question from 1 to 18. Okay, so altogether 18 questions. So Jaden, we try not to finish them all together in one day because it's going to be hard. Okay, try to finish them 4 or 5 questions per day. Then every week, every day, you're kind of review a little bit. Understood? And for each question, I need to see how you get the number. You cannot just give me the number itself. I want to see the equation. Okay, the equation is more important. And plus, you are allowed to use a calculator. Okay, don't have to be like everything calculated by yourself. Okay, so that's it for today's class, Jaden. Have a nice Monday. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.